Did you know that Zoro was never meant to be a member of the Straw Hats? Or that Nami was never meant to be human? Here are 19 secrets you probably didn't know about One Piece. Did you know that Oda originally planned to end One Piece in 2002, about 5 years after its release? What is even more crazy is that he had an ending already planned out. However, as he continued to develop more characters, battles, and adventures, the story took on a life of its own. In fact, July 22nd is officially known as One Piece Day. Did you know that anime characters were chosen as the official ambassadors of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics? One of the chosen ambassadors was Luffy from One Piece. Interestingly, a player at the Olympics even did Luffy's signature second gear pose before their match and ended up winning the gold medal. Well, that was wholesome, but not as wholesome as this next secret. Did you know that only 3 people know about the ending of One Piece? The main man himself, Oda, his manga editor, and a boy named Hinata Fujinami. After months of treatment for his lung cancer, Make-A-Wish Japan offered to grant a request. Fujinami wanted to know how his favorite manga, One Piece, would end. Oda was happy to fulfill Fujinami's request. Whatever he said to the boy made him quite happy, though he was asked not to reveal the ending. He did say one thing we can all agree on: One Piece is truly beautiful. When Oda was asked which character were the most difficult to draw, he gave an answer that would shock you. He stated that Frankie Shogun and Boa Hancock were the 2 most difficult characters to draw, mostly because he was not a huge fan of drawing robots, and probably huge treasure chests. If you know, you know. But Boa Hancock isn't only popular for her huge treasure chests. Her last name, Hancock, is actually gotten from a real-life engineer, Thomas Hancock, who is responsible for kickstarting Britain's rubber industry, and we all know how much Boa likes our rubber king Luffy. But probably the most shocking secret on this list is Big Mom's love life. Big Mom has married a total of 43 husbands and has had 46 sons as well as 39 daughters. What is even more shocking is that she has been giving birth for 42 years straight. Man, she definitely took her name way too seriously. But there is no way we will talk about Big Mom without talking about the infamous Charlotte Katakuri. Have you ever wondered why he has cheek scars? You may be thinking he could have gotten them from fighting so many intense battles, but there's actually a secret behind this. See, when he was 2 years old, he developed an insane love for donuts. By the time he turned 3, he had eaten so many donuts that his cheeks literally tore open, and that was where he got his scars from. It is even said that he has a world record for eating the most donuts throughout the series. But Katakuri isn't the only one breaking records. One Piece has broke the Guinness World Record twice, in 2015 and 2022 respectively, for having the most copies published by a single author, making it one of the best-selling mangas of all time. But it doesn't stop there, because there was a time where DC Comics actually featured One Piece in one of their comic books titled Aqualad. In one of the comic book panels, we get to see some of the Straw Hat crew like Robin and Nami, who happen to be on a beach speaking to one another. And in the last panel, we see Usopp speaking on the phone in front of a restaurant that seems to be named after Sanji. Speaking of the Straw Hats, have you ever wondered about their nationalities? Well, Oda has revealed them. Luffy's from Brazil, Usopp is from South Africa, Nami's from Sweden, Zoro is from Japan, making him the only Asian Straw Hat, Frankie is from the United States, Robin is from Russia, Sanji is from France, King Brook is from Austria, and our little adorable Chopper is from Canada. Well, that was fascinating, but not as fascinating as One Piece's initial name. You see, back when Oda was serving as an assistant to the mangaka Nobuhiro Watsuki, famous for Rurouni Kenshin, he came up with a series titled Romance Dawn. He made 2 versions of the story, which he released in 1996, a year before the release of One Piece. While One Piece isn't so different from Romance Dawn, Oda had to change some characters, with characters like Anne, who eventually became an inspiration for the creation of Nami. Did you know that Nami was originally supposed to be this cool cyborg-looking lady with a huge axe? Turns out she was originally planned to be a melee fighter, but she wasn't the only one that got changed. We get to the first design of the Straw Hat Pirates with Sanji almost being named Naruto, Brook not having an afro, Usopp being the vice captain of the Straw Hats, and Chopper was originally supposed to be a polo-wearing zebra-looking reindeer with a sword and a cigarette. Good thing we got a better Chopper design. If you agree, click the subscribe button. Anyway, have you ever wondered what devil fruit would suit Nami? Well, during an interview, Oda revealed that Nami would have gotten the Goro Goro no Mi devil fruit, which belongs to Enel. While this might sound very absurd, it is pretty much accurate, as Nami has always been associated with lightning powers, so this devil fruit would be a perfect match for her. Alright, enough of Nami, let's talk about Enel. Did you know that he's actually based on a real-life person? I'm not joking. He's actually based on a rapper named Eminem. If you take a good look at both of them, you can actually see the resemblance. It turns out that Oda is a mega Eminem fan. What is even crazier is that Oda has stated that if Enel were to be a wanted pirate, he might have a bounty of a staggering 500 million berries, which is quite shocking for a bounty, but not as shocking as this next secret. Would you believe me if I told you that Gear 5 was foreshadowed back in 2002? I'm not joking. You see, during the Skypiea arc, in chapter 253 of the manga, we get to see Luffy dancing around a small wall of fire. What is even more shocking is that if we take a good look at the stance he's making, it looks similar to the stance he took after his Gear 5 transformation, in which he jumped towards the moon. But the fun doesn't stop there, as Gear 5 was actually inspired by the infamous cartoon show Tom and Jerry. Oda sure loves his foreshadowing, as well as making characters that are based on real people, like Spandam and Whitebeard. They're actually modeled after WWE stars. You heard that right. Spandam is modeled after WWE legend Mick Foley, and Whitebeard is modeled after Hulk Hogan. Can you see the resemblance? But the fun doesn't stop there, as the admirals are actually modeled after famous Japanese actors. Kizaru is modeled after Kunie Tanaka. Aokiji is modeled after Yasuko Matsuda. Akainu is modeled after Bunta Sugawara. And Ryokugyo is modeled after Hoshie Harada. Man, One Piece is so cool, but not as cool as this next secret. Both Whitebeard and Blackbeard have a secret hidden in their names. See, Whitebeard's real name is Edward Newgate, while Blackbeard's real name is Marshall D. Teach. If you take Whitebeard's first name and Blackbeard's last name, you get Edward Teach, who is the notorious real-life Blackbeard. Pretty cool, right? But it gets even cooler, because a science textbook for French grade schoolers is one of the last places you would expect to see an anime character. But Yosaku appears in one, alongside Luffy and Usopp. In the image, Yosaku is suffering from scurvy, while Luffy and Usopp are attempting to cure him by pouring citrus juice down his throat. This is intended to help teach the kids about scurvy and how it was treated. If One Piece can be featured in a science textbook, then of course it would be featured in an anime. In chapter 373 of the Haikyuu manga, we see Hinata showing his roommate a One Piece manga and telling him his favorite character is Zoro. He's also telling you to check out this video. What are you waiting for? Click it!